I'm not typical English teacher. My first degree was in English for Science and Technology. I was trained to do translation for aircraft carrier. 我在读书的时候读科技英语，我在实习的时候，是要翻译这个航母的一些这个舰载机的一些这个资料，你知道。I love computer, and then I took the graduate courses in computer application. And then my friends told me that 洪岩 well, you still do not have a major. 说洪岩啊，你还是没有专业的。You learned 2 tools. 你学习了2门工具哈，英语和计算机2门工具。And then I went abroad and I had this MBA study. 我又出国读了 MBA 在当时的这个the number one French MBA school 这个全法第一的商学院。It is also the number one international MBA program by Financial Times for the past 4 years. 就是 Financial Times 在International MBA 的排名上是把巴黎高商作为全球的第1位，过去的这个 N 多年是如此。那么读完 MBA 之后 ，after this MBA, I would say, well, MBA is not actually a major. Well, it's a new way of thinking. MBA 也不是一个专业来着，它是一种新的思考问题的方式，一个角度。It's a new perspective. If I summarize my MBA education in one sentence, that would be no data, no talking. 没有数据，不要讲话And I later on, I find out that I turned out to be, I cut out to be a teacher. So I switched back. So my latest degree was in educational economy and management in Peking University. My career path is not typical either, but it's all centered with how I can teach English well. I mean, in the beginning, I was teaching at Beijing University, and after like 20 years, I am teaching in Peking University. Well, in the beginning, I was teaching college English. Those students who target at passing CET 4, okay, 通过4级为全部的目标。And I realized it was a tragedy, I do not like that test very much because it's limited. It's so limited because it even didn't test your oral spoken English. I mean, they don't test on your spoken English, and which, is a big tragedy. And later on, I decided that I would like to teach more students. And then I went to New Oriental for 5 years. I had actually taught over 200,000 students. And the average class size was like 1,000. I was mainly a TOEFL coach, okay? And besides that, actually, I was also the director of network department. 我也是当时的这个网络部的主任，也是创始人the English major, they do not like computer very much. So one day, I was working with Michael Yu, 俞敏洪老师. We were working together, and his keyboard didn't work, and he wanted to close, to turn off the computer. And then I figured out one way, and actually the computer was turned off and without a keyboard. And then, well, he said, wow, Hong Yan, you're an expert. And then you are the director of our network department. Anyway, over there, I practiced how we may use internet to teach English. And almost at the same time, I was working at human software. And it was the first generation multimedia English coaching applications. 我们在做的是中国第一代的这个英语的多媒体教育的软件 One of them was very famous. Is called "Speak English as You Wish." Only elders know about that name. 现在只有一些老一代的人会知道，这个当年也是我们叫做这个随心所欲说英语。是在联邦教育软件排行榜上边，连续有2年的时间都是在这个第1位。You know, the sales. When we go to the sales, this is another tragedy. I'm not complaining, but 我们的盗版销量是在1000万片啊。Well, actually, legally was sold like 500,000, but it was almost a record high. From the year 2004 until 2008, together with 2 partners, we started our own company, which was called General Talent, and we focused on English education for IT sector. 就是我创业的公司呢，是专注在给 IT 行业来去做这个英语教育。We were supporting the Ministry of Industry and Information, and actually we were doing the sole technical support for English proficiency tests for IT professionals. And the company was acquired by Tsinghua Unis Education, and then over here I have several years and to coach those executives, top executives, and how they may better communicate themselves to foreigners, especially when they are at their senior positions. 那么有几年的时间呢，那么我们专注在来去训练这些高管，让他们知道如何以他们自己的身份然后说什么样的语言来去做这种跨文化的沟通。在很多的情况下，他们需要自己去讲，而不是通过一个翻译。You know, so currently, I'm sorry this is a long list, but this is what I do. And I was also in charge of 2 national tests. And currently, I'm a lecturer at interdisciplinary subject group at the School of Software and Microelectronics of Peking University. And what helped me to make up my mind to do English speech and presentation course is out of my experience back in the year 2002 in HEC MBA program. You know, we were holding this election for MBA Students Association, and you know, it was a total, a whole international group of people, like 150, coming from 42 nations. 那个我们是大概有将近150名的学生，来自于全球42个国家。And then we have 9 Chinese students. 我们有9个中国的学生，是来自于单一个国家的这个人数最多的啊。So we Chinese students decided that we should have one representative in the Students Association. 我们中国学生应该在学生会当中有一个代表啊。Okay, so they asked me and said, 洪岩, just give them a lecture. You know, normally a lecture was like 1,000, so this is a piece of cake, so you can do it. So I registered, and I made a 5 minutes English speech, and fortunately, later on I would say unfortunately, and then I was elected as the president of the Student Association and for this MBA program, which means you need to spend at least 20 hours a week on the students' affairs. You know, this is not like the Chinese Students Union, 不像中国的学生会. You know, you have a lot of occasions you need to attend, a lot of emails, and even when the president was receiving a reward, and you need to be present, okay, and to speak on behalf of students. You know, we have a lot of those activities, which also poses a great challenge for me. I mean, you have to speak English to communicate with my team members, people from different nations. And most of them, they are not using English as their native language. 他们很多人也不是把英语作为这个母语的。So you will hear Italian English. They say student. 实际上是 student. Italian English. You hear French English. Good morning, Mr. Zhang. French English, and we had a hard time. But later on, when I recorded, it's the best experience ever, And I'm going to share with you more about this and how you quarrel with others, in English. And later on, I did share my experience and how you deal with foreigners in English. And, I believe the most valuable job for English majors would be to do fundraising. 学英语专业的能做的最有价值的事情，实际上是做这个融资啊。Chinese enterprises, companies, they are always in short of funds. 中国企业永远是缺钱的。Okay. What we did is that in the beginning I was helping with a human, and we were recruiting funds. We actually raised the funds from Intel. Later on we had all these discussions, and sometimes not for business, it's just for a sports activity, and we got money from banks, from BNP Paribas and French banks. And sometimes I was most challenged once is to do academic exchange. I was selected as an expert to do a panel meeting, a closed door panel meeting. We were discussing the criteria to pass the students in a certain test by ETS, Educational Testing Service. I was invited there as the only Chinese guy. And it was, 3 days. Well, certainly, people are talking English, and they are from non-English countries also. Certainly include also people from the United States, from UK. But it's hilarious. It's a whole bunch of people and trying to communicate with one language. And we made mistakes. But it is so fortunate that at the end that we have reached some conclusion. And my contribution was that I actually, with my last sentence, I almost turned over everything that they said. I mean, literally, in Chinese, 我最大的贡献就是说，我们在最后快要达到结论的时候，我用一句话基本上否定了所有人的观点。Anyway, it's so fun that if you keep on practicing your English, and if you can follow their way of thinking, and you will find out that to communicate in English is so much fun. And I also deliver all this experience to these top executives, and also I also give lecture to 小朋友, okay, those who were doing like a model UN, whatever. So here, let's come back to this course, the scope of this course, what we are going to teach in this course. 我们这门课到底要讲什么？These are the things that we will cover, but these are not. Like a daily conversation, too easy, debate, too difficult, overseas study, those tests, and CET for 6, that is not our topic. And by the way, I also help to solve psychological issues in English learning, but we do not do this.